E2 contest that golden loot area. As we can see, it is going to be FPX and TE all in the same area. Everyone racing to try and get their hands onto the weapons as quickly as possible. Musket going to be picked up from one of the Wolves players. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean any movement abilities nor parry ability, as JL is going to be able to find with that ACOS an immediate pick onto Oh You Cheese You. VVV getting a follow-up onto SS, and that is that ACOS V1 just coming into full motion. JL were able to instantly get their hands on that ultimate and just shred through an entire team. As Bowder currently looking to try and loot up while keeping themselves information to be able to deal with pressure coming through from the challenge of JJH. Uran throwing out that fan, catching onto the back of JJH's Godly, who comes in with the dual halberds. Don't actually get to see the parry come at Uran. Unfortunately, times the red flash at the wrong aspect to be able to catch onto that charged RMB, and instead actually loses the fan when he throws out the charged vertical. However, Flames is still able to find the pill onto Bowder's peak. So we're going to see that transformation start to come on through. Godly clearing up the space immediately as Uran now trying to move out of position is going to get chased onto by JDG shot with the Xiphon. Uran with that bell will be able to keep himself a little alive, a little longer. Tries to cut over to the body, throws out the fan, the charge vertical catching onto both of the players who stacked up. However, 2-tick with that Xi V2 will be able to have the range necessary to be able to catch the Monk in the back, and he does go down, which is absolutely crucial. As 2-tick still has a little bit of that ultimate left, and they are still chasing. JJH's Moran going incredibly low, loses a lot of the armor. The F3 tries to chase on to the player. Unfortunately, means that he doesn't have the F3 now to reposition that to launch ultimate and has to go over the tree instead to be able to do so. Gets the zip heal, but the cannon coming through from the Pharaoh on the sideline actually catches 2-tick. He's able to kite over to his zip heal, will be able to get that sustain going on through as Moran with this Farrier V3 just managing such a good job of peeling for his players. Godly still alive on the front line off of the pressure and staggers that Moran has been able to set up, and you can actually see that JDG lost a player and are now trying to disengage as Moran with the F3 now catches on. We see the ultimate now start to come on into play. Moran on that side lane trying to come in with the dagger. The F3 from the side looking to lock down someone. The Monk ultimate comes in. He's already found one grab. He converts it into the slam and finds the kill off of the back of it as poor 2-tick. Rock, paper, scissors. Monk beats all. He's able to find the grab onto the Xi, and he's going to be able to clean up the other players from JDG as a result.
That fight just went a little bit too long for them. But honestly, I think the main thing that really defined that was that Farrier mech. It was just so oppressive, the cover fire they had. Absolutely brutal. Now cutting over to Alliance, who are getting themselves in a fight with DRG. Instantly, Alliance get on the bad side of that and do blink away. DRG, I don't think they saw where they went. Even with the easier tracking, they do finally get an idea of where Alliance are. But Alliance are able to pick themselves up and scatter to the win. Bo, low HP. Bo desperately trying to get some healing done as revenge. The only member with full armor and full health is the one getting opened up onto. Does a whole bunch of damage to X-Shy. There comes the ultimate. The parry comes down onto Revenge. Alliance can't catch a break. Can he get out of range? He can. Breaks away for the moment. In comes the rest of the team. Alliance throw down the Tessa ultimate to try and keep themselves going. DRG are able to cleanse himself away from that one as Bo gets himself a counter off onto Xi. Comes in with a full charge with the spear. So much damage coming in as the third party, like you said, has come in though. DRG gonna get themselves a kill. No, Alliance actually get himself the kills. In comes the Bane's Breath from KLA. Beautiful little third party for them, and Alliance. That fight got turned around luckily for them, but the third party should be the end, as they do actually get the lockdown on two members of KLA. That's a long stun onto 17S. Not going to be able to get too much here, but Alliance are going to lose lane here as KLA secure themselves that kill. The Bane's Breath still KLA's to control as Alliance lose Revenge, lose their players, and they are going to be forced away from this one. Beautiful third party there from KLA.
Yeah, I mean, great heal as well coming through from that zip. Sees that it's the Viper V1, not the V3, which means the 5-second stun, and drops the F to be able to heal themselves just before that stagger window procs. And as a result, even though the zip does get hit by that stun, no one can take advantage, and KLA are still able to sit in the middle of that Bane's Breath, stop any potential third parties from coming through, and use the AoE to be able to isolate a lot of those target mobilities and just chunk them down. As JL looking to pick themselves up. I assume Fireflies either just got grabbed by this team or got picked up on drop. As TXJ does have that Akos V1, we're going to see just hunting for the gear. Finds a purple dagger, absolutely huge. Akos, one of those players who needs that weapon, needs that scaling for the ultimate damage. Is JJH going to be looking for a little bit of loot scaling themselves. Everyone who's running any variant of a transformer, anyone who scales with the damage on their ultimate off of the equipment level is going to be looking for those loot upgrades, looking to try and pick up as much money as possible by running these quests. You can see JDG, I believe, just completed one of their own to be able to get that upgrade. TE going to be able to open up a cave, get some Morris Blessing. This is where the Morris Blessings have been repositioned too. They are still around. They're just only in the caves now. Everything else is going to be a captured. The Spirit Well, as they're not going to get griefed out of this one. Wolves, however, in the area do know that the team just went into this direction and start to show up to look for that challenge. You can see the Scout XEM just up in the air to be unexpected with that Viper V1 looking to drop down on an unsuspecting player. Do they try and actively take this engagement? They are still only on blue armor. This is a composition that isn't the greatest at taking around with Yang fights, so they're looking probably to find an upgrade off of either the scraps left behind in this cave or controlling a Spirit Well and being enough of a threat, enough of a pain with the threat of that third party that other teams don't want to challenge them.
Yeah, we'll see what their game plan is. But for now, we're cutting over to GG, who are geared up. Purple weapons and armor almost across the board. It's 3-3-0. Unfortunately, not got themselves purple armor. Has got FPX in their sights, though, so does look like we might have a little bit of some action breaking out here. Roma Yangs will be spawning up soon as well, so there'll be some action coming off that. It's GG. Actually, not that interested in taking a fight here versus FPX. GG would rather get their hands on to a Roma Yang, but where are they on the map? Trying to track where they are right now. Oh, where everybody is. By that one portal, yeah. There is a lot of people in the area. That's why I couldn't find them, because there was so many people on the map. They got Alliance, who they're right behind. Actually, to be fair to GG, Alliance are fresh off a revive, so they're probably a little lacking on the gear department. So they're either not going to contest them or will be an easy pick. GG are beelining for this Roma Yang portal, but they got OUG, JL, and JDG all collapsing in on the area. Question is who's going to get their hands onto it? I feel like the tester teams are just want to play interrupt and deny the opportunity to get into that Roma Yang. We actually see the zone shift hard off to the north. And it's one of those zones that I really like. The one where it cuts a lot of the map off because it makes part of the zone in the water, which basically just really shortens the map, cuts for resources, forces everyone together a lot quicker than maybe they would normally be. As though GG coming in, can they deny it? Looks like they have been able to get some damage off, but they can't full deny. Not going to be able to stagger anyone from getting inside that Roma Yang, and they may just
only two players with JDH. Oh no! Moran got caught out by wolves when he tried to enter the Roma Yang. Jake, this is a 3v2. Oh no! And it's against JL as well, who already have two sets of purple gear. TXJ with the fan gets the scale rush. Throws out that F2 as well, that roar that you can sit in with the golden frame. Both of the transformers going to start to come into play. Godly instantly having to go for the transformation. As we're just going to see some more ultimate getting dropped to make it even harder for the team to be able to lock down some of these players. TXJ hasn't popped that ultimate just yet, is waiting for the transformations to burn on out from JJH's side. As the Yushan from One Thing is doing more than enough, finds the stagger onto Flames. We do see one grab come through. Godly is able to get one onto VVV before he drops out of that ultimate, but unfortunately, yep. You're going to get the ultimate back anyway, TXJ. May as well use it to flashily grab that last kill. Godly goes down to the Yushan quarterback charge, and that is so unfortunate. Like we talked about, the Tesla teams, they are built to grief the entrances to the Yang. And unfortunately for JJH, you talked it directly into existence. They lose one player as they try and get through the portal. It looked like actually they almost lost two too, because Godly, when he entered, he was entirely void of armor. He had to full reset armor before that portal popped up.
Lovely, lovely stuff. OUG actually very close to JL, Both of these teams may just be burning through their Vermilion Birdsmite very quickly. You getting opened up onto here by TXJ, but you does get a bunch of damage off onto him. In comes the backup. TXJ losing a fair amount of health here. Armor here has popped the ultimate though, so we'll be waiting for the opportunity to sink the Tiger's teeth in to SS. Immediately though, getting his health bar stripped away. Tries to get some damage off of the Tiger. Is able to find it as he's absolutely rattling through the members of OUG, but his armor has been stripped away. Is able to get some healing. A pot has been popped. He is just going to look to break away, and look at JDG hovering in the distance, waiting for an opportunity to get that third party off. Both of the Ferromex have been using. TXJ getting some damage off onto the King here. Is going to just keep himself up into the mech. Use health bars being liquefied by TXJ there. So much damage being laid in from this Ferromech with the golden weapons scaling, really coming in for them as Yu is taken down from TXJ in the mech, and in comes JDG. Try and see if they can get some damage off this one. Have been able to pick up one already onto OUG's SSJL being melted through as well, and JDG, they timed this third party absolutely beautifully. TXJ gets into a mech. JDG trying to get the damage off here with the Zai, is going to be able to absolutely rinse through that health bar. GG now coming in for that potential third party on top of that one. This has just been an absolute blender of kills. JDG just cashing in 7 kills and jumping up the scoreboard off the back of that one. Getting everything they want off this. They've still got their own Vermilion Birdsmite for another 80 seconds, so they can aggressively stay and take these fights. Jumping in, 2-tick goes with that F. Is going to get himself caught out, though. The stagger from GG just actually starting to build up to be too much. Does a lot of damage off. Does have the ultimate available to them, but can't pop it in time. GG sliding in, finishing up everyone as GG capitalize on their own third party, collecting 3 kills for themselves.
Now, off screen in the meantime, JJH are actually able to purchase a Rebirth Charm and then have 2 of their players who had that Yang depletion go down so that one of them can be brought back up by the Farrier. So we do still have 1 Transformer up for JJH alongside that mech. As unfortunately, I don't think they have enough to buy the Tumult back, which is going to make it pretty dangerous if they do decide to throw those ultimates through, because they're not going to have that Sandstorm to stop the projectiles from connecting onto that Monk. As KLA are looking to find a hit onto Wolves. QGG comes in with the F3, immediately forces the Wuchen teleport away. That is really unfortunate for KLA, because you can see the orange background on their portrait means they are currently under the duress of Yang depletion. And unfortunately for them, Wolves with that Wuchen reposition will be able to just immediately disappear into the night. And there is not a bell nearby for the team to be able to track down where exactly they ran off to. And that's going to make it really difficult for KLA to be able to translate the 8 kills that they've already picked up with this incredibly hyper-aggressive Zai, Mitari, and Z-Ping composition, which is so good right off of the rip, but being able to confirm really quickly a lot of kills and in a succinct fashion. They're not going to be able to, if they're not careful, make it to the kill multiply, because they've got 49 seconds left. One of them stuns the Yang depletion, at least. Their Zai is still going to be alive. And you can see that they've already funneled over a majority of their coins so that QGG can try and find a rebuff charm if they're not all bought out. As 17S scouts out some of those shops. The second realm of Yang is starting to come through, because like you said, this zone is cutting into that sea, which means that a lot of these teams have already been forced into taking early fights, and we are down a fair number of players with how action-packed this round has been before the second Yang actually even spawns on up. OUG starting to move their way over. DRG likewise going to be trying to contest that one. JJH going to be dropping by and away from KLA, as they are just recovering still from having to play on the back foot with losing their players early off of the last Yang depletion. GG, it looks like, are going to be running into a fight just now. OUG uncontested, might be able to make their way into one. They have got the cannonball. You've already got the legendary halberds from the last win on the Yang. Do they make it in time? One, yep, goes through. Currently, no one's actually entered to contest them, as both GG and FPX are actually just looking at each other right now. this stalemate going on between the two. CJS just sitting on top of that score, denying it from FPX. And the second that GG have purchased what they want, FPX slide in to pick up the scraps. Remember, there are only a finite number of those armors for purchase in the shop. So if one team manages to show up to that shop first, unfortunately, a lot of the time you're just too slow on the uptake to actually find the upgrade that you were looking for when you initially repositioned.
Well, looks like OUG are going to be uncontested. There it is, a freebie for them. Very interesting now that we are starting to see, as the meta changed, less and less people jumping into these second runway Yanks. A lot less confident to do that. Only that those who are either really want those kills or are, you know, just confident no one's going to contest them are the ones jumping in. Wolves got a freebie last time. This time it is going to be OUG. Grab him a freebie. Immediately out into a Bane's Breath, though. So they have to quickly position away. Have got that Draco Storm, interestingly. So not going for the Misty Might, not going for the White Tigers, which are typically the go-tos for our teams. Going for that Draco Storm, which to me says they are very eager to take some fights. So we'll keep our eyes on exactly what they're going to be doing off the back of that one. GG and Alliance get themselves in a bit of a scrap for the moment. Lane getting some damage down onto CJS, but Lane does find himself pinned against this wall, back against the zone as well. CJS doing some work there with that legendary longsword. Alliance blink out of that one. Only with 2 kills this game, so not as productive of a game as game 1 was for them, but they have made it later into the circle, which is probably more what they were looking to be doing here. Have got themselves the blind date comp. So we'll be looking to kind of go for those third parties as more and more people are close into one another. And we are only on to zone 3 right now. We'll be closing in on zone 3 momentarily.
Oh, he iframed it!
Oh, did he?
The Viper V1! Yep!
Oh! Broke away from that one. Beautiful. Now, Godly is going to get himself caught out by the tether. Wushin 98 losing a lot of HP. Can he get the slam down? No, he can't. Godly, health bar getting absolutely liquefied. He finds himself caught out by the charm. JJH forced to use that monk transform as Godly is on the run. You're seeing the power of the Tessa into the monk. He can't break the urn. So
no, it was the team that they were fighting used the Wuchen teleport out.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah. Well, my point was more, it's just like, it's so hard to get the damage, well, to break away from all the crowd control when you're playing the blind date comp versus these monks. Well, the monk really struggles to break away because you are guaranteed to get hit by the urn of the Tessa. So you can have 2 charges of that as well. So it can be really, really rough going into that. The Wuchen did bail them out, though, as that fight was getting a little bit too hairy for them. So they were bailed out from losing their monk there, but very, very scary stuff for the only monk to be playing into right now. Godly has to play this very, very intelligently.
Yeah, he doesn't have the transformer ult. The crucial thing is, JL were not the team that they were previously fighting, so they do not know the state of the ultimates. Oh, there you go. OUG, find money stash. They're gonna be very happy about that one. As you has that legendary, but I'm not sure if he has the soul trades. The company will have to see if the animation is different for the Dragon Slayers or the Nessas if it's over the head of the Yodo. As it is a little bit of just the calm before the storm at the moment. Draco Storm about to run out for this team. Haven't been able to run into a whole lot of fights to be able to take advantage of it. However, they're now going to run not into 1 team but 2. Cannonball onto JDG to be able to start initiating that one. JDH also in the areas. We cut over 2 Sunwings. No surprises that this is where Wolves have decided to take up refuge. This is one of, I think, the best areas of this map to just go unnoticed. All the way at the very, very top of the ribcage is just very, very good, especially for the Vipers, right? If you're running that traditional V1. The V1 is very different in how you position with the Viper in comparison to the V3. Because the V3, it basically, for the entire duration of the ultimate charging up, means that it has the silence and the Viper can still freely move and freely fight. The V1, however, has the charge up and only hits into effect once the charge up is done, and you get the 5-second stun window, leaving the Viper incredibly vulnerable. It's why the V1 has so much damage reduction attached to it, because you know that the Viper is going to be incredibly vulnerable and cannot protect themselves. But I believe it's 70%, yeah, 70%. That it got upgraded to on the patch that these teams are playing. So those Vipers are going to be incredibly durable, but you still want to make sure that the Viper is not spotted when you drop down for that 5-second stun window, which is why we see Vipers hide up on the high ground, on trees or on ledges, to be able to get the drop down and find that tether before the players can see it coming and break line of sight to cancel the 5-second stun.
All right, well, EG getting himself into a fight here versus JJH. Morin actually looking to break away. No one's fully willing to pull that trigger and full commit, but it is a tight zone. There are not a lot of players left. We even see the transform come out here, so pretty sure that AUG quite happy to keep the pressure up. Morin actually losing a lot of HP. In comes Flames, gets a massive cannon shot off onto King. Flames getting hit in the backside though by Yu with this golden spear. Able to do a lot there. Not actually full committing right now. Is Morin getting himself TXJ coming in onto him, losing a lot of his armor, getting shot from all angles. JJH! Morin goes down. JL with the ACOS. Just executing beautifully on that. And now Flames is just going to try and blink away. Finds himself caught out by JDG. Flames taking the shots from the distance. Everybody collapsing in. DRG also in the area. Flames gets himself inside the building. And he actually broke away there. No. WFC is going to catch him off. And down they go. JJH are taken out of the game. It was DRG to secure that kill and eliminate our fourth team of the game, as they have taken out 24 players left in
that was
zone.
really mean from DRG. They had WFC with the halberds body block the door frame with the charged RMB, which forced him to have to just wall hang directly into the cannon shot coming through from DRG's team. He had absolutely no place of safety to be able to go. Speaking about cannonball, oh my goodness, okay. That's a lot of damage coming through from the cannon yet again, as JL's TXJ using that same weapon, trying to regenerate the ult necessary to be able to build back into this ACOS V1, putting pressure onto FPX's Don Queen, so he's not going to be able to sit on those resources. TXJ not finding any in at the moment. He's not wanting to take a kill. This is purely just Buccaneer phase at the moment, as all of these teams just wanting to try and chunk through these resources. This game has been going on as long as it has, which means that a lot of these places in the area have already been picked clean by teams that have come through since, which makes the Spirit Well incredibly impactful in terms of being able to lock those up. And we are going to see it contested. Tessa V1 comes on through, catches TXJ actually, who was hopping into this Farrier mech to try and use the boosters potentially in reposition if he gets enchanted. We're gonna see just immediately TXJ with this mech controlling all of that space. Wolves throw out the Tester ultimate to zone JL, stop them from being able to get a couple of parting shots when the team tries to disengage. The Spirit Well immediately gets captured. However, JL get grief from picking up the loot. The Tessa V1 for TXJ is just forced to watch as all of the loot that JL worked so hard to be able to unlock just get snatched up by other teams. Wolves, however, take a lot of pressure, have to use that Wuchen port from EG to be able to bail XEM out before the Viper goes down. Crucially, still holding onto that Viper V1 as well. Now we're going to see that legendary armor that Wolves stole away from JL being funneled over to the Vipers. Like we talked about, when you're running that V1, the Viper is a lot more vulnerable than in the V3 state. So you need to make sure that the Viper is the one getting the better armor to be able to live for that V1 to properly come into play, as OUG start to take control of this high ground, want to be able to referee the teams on the low and middle shelf with the cannon just doing so much damage. Merciless havoc in the hand for SS to be able to control the left side. You throwing out the charged verticals on the halberds as well, just to try and catch anyone who tries to grapple on through, as well as alleviate some of the cannon poke coming on out from Alliance's lane, who goes so incredibly low, and then in true GG fashion, just gets absolutely eviscerated by the repeating crossplay swap coming through from the team foe. With a good grapple connection onto GG, will be able to stop them from farming the resources off of the corpse, knocking GG into the zone. The Wuchen teleport gets set up, and they do manage to connect it onto their teammate. However, in the middle of the Bane's Breath, Jake, they're taking their chances with the gods of Naraka. Bane's Breath is smiling upon them, but so too is all of the damage from the teams in the area. Huge Wuchen Windwall to be able to block the ranged poke coming through from the other team's bow, able to cancel out of the heal and tap dodge away play before the AoE hits. An Alliance, by the skin of their teeth, have 2 players that live another day, but Lane goes down again to the Bane. And Alliance are in such a bad position. They don't have the Wuchen teleport. They don't have the Viper to be able to clear the space. They just have to try and slip away unnoticed before FPX try and pressure the other 2 teammates that survive.
The amount of harassing that just went down on Alliance is not okay. Everything got thrown at them while they were standing in a Bane's breath trying to pick their teammate up. That was a miserable experience for them, unfortunately. Denied and now losing their Viper. So they do have the Wuxian, they do have the Tessa, so they got something. They do have some members, but they're going to have to do some work. JDG 8 kills this game, so they've really been able to slingshot themselves up the standings. JL with another banging game as well. 8 kills under their belt. OUG actually are in it. They're in the game. They got 5 kills. Right now, still in the lobby. Still within a chance. Wolves 4 kills as well. So we are seeing actually DRG with 8 kills, finding FBX in a corner inside the zone, just trying to melt through this health bar, trying to gatekeep them from getting out. But XJ is low HP. Can he break away? No, he can't. Down he goes. FBX able to pick up a kill onto 2 members of DRG, and DRG with those 9 kills now losing 2 players. They thought they had it all, and they were denied heavily for that one.
Oh, I think the Wishing got the port on the Viper and the Tessa, but unfortunately he teleports directly into the middle of where everyone else is fighting, and just immediately the poke pressure from all of the other teams in the area stop him from being able to sit on top of one of the bodies and get a teammate back up into the mix. He just has to prioritize full survival. Spirit Well comes on through. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of DRG. JL are able to track down the Lone Wuchen and take him down. Wolves now ignoring the Spirit Well, wanting to try and put focus onto OUG, dropping in with that F2 from XEN, looking to try and find the silence onto FPX. The V1, they're probably pushing onto this team. They're trying to body block FPX's water from coming through. Poison Mushroom procs in the cave, and all of these players are immediately going to be chunking through so much of their health. ZK going incredibly low, does indeed go down. Zone Queen also getting affected by that Poison Mushroom. Manages to find the heal reset off of one of the Solvents, finds the parry with the fan as well into the jump cancel vertical to be able to land more damage onto EG once the parry has gone through. Gets another Solvent reset off of the body as a result, and FPX hold their ground and actually managed to live against the contest that Wolves launched upon them, this siege that Wolves laid at their doorstep. But at the moment, the true final boss, Jake, is OUG. They're controlling this high ground. They've got you out on that Farrier with the legendary scaled damage. They've got the cover of the Merciless Havoc to make sure that the Farrier mech does not get ranged down by any of these other teams in the areas. You can see JL's TXJ trying to find the cannonball to be able to stagger you before he's able to go back into that state as well. JDG are going to lose one of their players to JL, but both of these Farriers are locked onto each other. OUG lose the mech first. SS, the target that TXJ is locked directly on top of, he's not going to be able to find the kill. However, VVV has been able to pull up so much rage. She's immediately got another V3 to drop for TXJ. The ACOS going into the middle. FPX trying to play out of line of sight, wanting to stay off of the low ground, and all of the teams in the areas notice. Let everyone else burn through their ultimates so they can sit on theirs, play the sustain game, and properly come in with a better kill multiplier when the zone fully collapses. GG. The same thinking coming through from them. CJS on that Takeda wants to wait for the zone to properly collapse to be able to shove all of these players with the Furin into taking the corruption tick damage. As SS is making sure that no one is sneaking, no one is creeping, no one is hiding, using that Yushan ultimate, flushing out the members of FPX and not letting them sit back and watch from the sidelines. Tumultual gets dropped. JLTXJ back into that mech yet again, covered by one thing. With that Yushan, OUG's SS, no armor, having to spam crouch to get the shield reset on the purple armor. FX still above. TE also going to be that JL's TXA able to find one hit onto OUG's SS. Alliance now dropping onto the low ground, but it's LXM that JL have turned on to. JL slowly starting to really run this lobby. 13 kills to 14 kills. TXA now outside of that mech, looking to try and find some more pressure onto these players when they're too close with their backs to that corruption tick damage. Alliance gets spotted by GG. OUG also going for the same play. All of these players trying to play the survival around the lone tree left inside avoid the corruption damage. We're going to see a mech come through. OUG's unite with the Yoda ultimate. Might have to iframe through manages to iframe out of the test. No, he doesn't. He mistimes the next teleport. Gets cancelled out by the V1, but enough damage has been done to all of the players below. OUG's you with a huge Yoda ultimate, finding the connection necessary to everybody stacks on top of each other. Is it enough